Hello Flosstube, it's Meredith. It's been a while since I've made a video. It is, what is today? Tuesday, the August 8th, and it's 11:11 at night, and so I feel like I look a little tired, probably because I am, but I've been wanting to do a video for a very long time. I think it's been about a month since my last video, and so I got home and I'm like, I'm just gonna do it. So I threw some things together. I have my notes in front of me. And so I have, let's see, just a few little mentions. And I'll go over my whips. And I've got I am going to call it a fully finished. I'm going to cheat and call it one fully finished item. And let's see. So new starts, actually several new starts. And some haul, which are kind of new starts. So anyway, so first of all, I just wanted to say thank you for everyone who has subscribed and commented on my videos, and it's always encouraging. To be really honest, I've almost thought about not doing a video at all. I wanted to, and then I thought, no, it's fine. Maybe I'm just a watcher and not a video maker, and not a floss tuber. But here I am. So the encouragement is wonderful, and the comments are wonderful. And I wanted to say thank you to a few people specifically. Actually, I wanted to say thank you to Kay's CrossStitch for mentioning me. I think it's actually, I forgot about it in my last video. She actually mentioned me as a flooby, a newbie floss tuber, after my first video. So thank you so much. I love watching your videos. And then also Sandra Schuler. She has joyfulexpressions.com, and she put me in her newsletter and mentioned me in her newsletter, and it linked to I think it was my third video, and so I wanted to just say thank you. She has a free, a very pretty free names of Jesus pattern that I downloaded. Anyway, you can go to her site and get that, and she's got some other wonderful things on there. So thank you, Sandra, for mentioning me in your newsletter. I totally appreciate it. Such a wonderful thing that you mentioned me. I just am very grateful. And then so just a little bit, yesterday Eric and I went on a little spontaneous journey. I'll call it a spontaneous journey up north. I live in Central California. Went to a smaller town up north called Modesto, and it's about, I want to say it's about 150 to 200 miles up north, on the way to Sacramento. And while we were in Modesto, I ended up saying, like, let's just check out, see if there's any cross-stitching or needlepoint stores in Modesto. And I think I had heard of one. So I looked it up, because there aren't any. There's one needlepoint store here that doesn't carry any cross-stitching. I've mentioned that before. And there really aren't any in the valley, the Central Valley in California, which is quite a big place. And so I was like, I'm just going to go, let's just, Google it and see. So there was a store that came up called Elegant Stitches. And so we went, and we went to try and find it, and we went to an old location that isn't there anymore. And then we searched again and found another location that maybe the store had moved. And so anyway, we drive over. Of course, we don't even know where we're going, but we drive. We find Elegant Stitches, and oh shoot, okay. So anyway, we walk in, and it wasn't a store. It was so the Lois is the one who owns Elegant Stitches in Modesto, but it's her warehouse. She no longer has a brick and mortar store. She has an online store now. And so we walk in, and we were like, sorry, is this the store? And she was like, no, this is my warehouse. Anyway, she was so kind to entertain us for a moment. We walked in kind of unexpectedly on a Monday, just out of the blue, thinking we were walking into a needlepoint cross-stitch store, but ended up walking into her work area, her office, I guess you could say. And she had tons of beautiful things. I didn't really get a chance to look around. I didn't want to take a bunch of her time, but I did ask if I could mention her on Flosstube. She can be found at so this is where I forgot. She gave me some cards, but it's her store is Elegant Stitches, and you can find it at, I think it's elegantstitches.com, and she has an Etsy site, ladydotcreates on Etsy, and she does hand dyed trims and hand dyed velveteen, and she has a lot of she has lots of stuff, cross stitching stuff that she sells on eBay, and I can't remember her eBay name, but anyway, I wanted to just throw it out there. She was so kind to let us it was like the highlight of my day, because even though we were there for a lot of different well, actually one other reason, but we ended up taking this fun little journey. But it was the highlight of my day because I have no stitchy friends. I don't have anybody that I know, like actual people. Like I'm on Flosstube and I watch videos and I make comments every now and again, but I don't have anybody that I know that actually stitches. And so I was like just so thrilled to have this just kind of encounter with Lois, and she was again so kind, and we just got talking about different things. I was probably there for like 15-20 minutes. Like I said, I didn't want to take too much of her time. But anyway, if you happen to want to check out her store, I encourage you. She's such a sweet lady. She had lots of stuff in her warehouse, lots of fabrics, lots of threads, lots of her handmade trims and things. So, and lots of patterns too. And maybe I'll link down below her information so that if you wanted to check it out, you can. But anyway, she was just very, very sweet, and I felt like I had made a new stitchy friend, maybe my first stitchy friend, and she was like my stitchy neighbor, even though she was 200 miles away or something like that. So anyway, I just wanted to mention her because she was, again, it was just a fun little joy for me. She probably didn't think much about it, but I really liked it. So anyway, those are the ones that I wanted to mention. I'm sorry if I'm looking down, you'll see I'm looking at my notes right here. So anyway, so I wanted to get into some of my whips, some of the things that I've already showed you. I haven't made a ton of progress on some of my older whips. Some of these I think I'm actually gonna UFO them, just because there's a couple new things that I started that I'm kind of focusing on. But I wanted to show you my progress on some of them. So I had showed you last time my Mill Hill kit, the window box. It's the one with the dog. And so here is my progress. Oh, all I have is a towel next to me, so I'm going to use a towel. This is kind of strange. So this is my Mill Hill window box, and I think last time I had just the dog and some of the background, but I have the whole window done, and I am starting to work on the shutters and some of the shutters over here. So anyway, that's where I've gotten on my window box. I still love this, and I still love the perforated paper, although one day I had pulled it out. I take a backpack with me to work because I like carry the kitchen sink with me to work because I just feel like I always have to have everything with me. And when I pulled this out one day, I realized that it was kind of bent down. I was like, ah, it's bent. That's the one thing about paper, is it can bend, it can crease. But it seems to, you can actually kind of, I don't know if you can see where it's bent right there. Anyway, I think once I get it in a frame, it's obviously not going to matter. But anyway, that's my progress on that, and I enjoy that. I really enjoy this one. So, oh, let me start. Actually, I want to show you my finish first. Second. So I finished Retro Daze. That was the one with the deer. And I'm sorry, I'm really sorry for, oh, it may have really bad glare. There, how about that? So I went and I matted it. I framed it myself. I laced it myself. I watched a video, Trixie Stitch. I am so bad at knowing names of things. I realize I get a lot of things wrong. Well, but I watched a video on lacing on the back. Now, and this is just a simple, cheap frame I got from Hobby Lobby. So anyway, I say I'm going to count this as a fully finished piece because on the back I still haven't put anything to cover up the back. But I'm almost tempted to not, just because I'm not real sure. This was the piece that the gal at the chiropractor's office said she wanted, and this frame is really simple, and I feel like it could be something nicer. So I'm gonna maybe just keep it the way it is, and if she wants to get a new frame, she can. But anyway, I think it turned out really nice. My stitches aren't too bad. I don't know. Yeah, it looks good. I'm happy with it. I almost thought about not putting the glass on and maybe putting like a bow or something cute on it, but I thought no. Sometimes simple is. There's me in the reflection. Sometimes simple is better. So anyway, that is my finish. One finish. I don't finish things very often, so this is a miracle. And I am on my bed, so I'm going to be moving around a lot. So anyway, back to whips. I also was working on hot chocolate, and this is what hot chocolate looks like. It's the one on the cover here. Actually, I always like to show the inside because it's a better picture. And it's a better picture because it has the bunny. That's hot chocolate. And I am stitching this on 28 count even weave. I'm assuming that's right side up, or not backwards to you. It's backwards to me. I'm thinking it will be backwards to you. And I'm stitching it over 3/2 because I learned the last time to follow the instructions, and when it says use 3 threads, to use 3 threads. But here's my progress. I haven't made a ton of progress on it since then because I've kind of put it down a little bit. It's on a massive piece of fabric. That's my progress. Let me do this. Fidgety, fidgety. That's my progress. So, this is her hand and her sleeve, her 2 knees, and her body. Working on the body. That's all I have. It's coming out nice. I do like the coverage on this because it's 3/2. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say about that. I like it. It's turning out nice. I am going to put this one away for a little bit because, like I said, I have other things that I'm kind of focusing on. But that's my progress. Okay, next. I said I joined Steochalong. I'm actually a week behind. I haven't stitched this week's at all. I haven't downloaded it, but I think we all know what it says now. So this is my progress on the Steochalong. So as for me and my house, we shall serve. Now, Michelle at Bendy Stitchy commented on this too, and how there's a big old blow up. There was a big old blow up on the Steochalong website about this being a scripture. Now, I don't have a problem with it. Obviously, I'm a Christian, so to me that's wonderful. But I'm also a sarcastic Christian, and I really don't know. If it was, as for me and my house, we shall serve the Lord, I would be okay with that. That's fine to me. if it's as for me in my house we shall serve bacon, that's fine to me too. And whatever they come up with, I'm sure I'll get a laugh out of it. I think this is really, I like this. This is a fun piece to me. If it wasn't scripture, I would still like it. But maybe because it's scripture, I like it even more. And I'm actually thinking about, like, as for me in my house, we shall serve the Lord, and bacon. Because I love bacon. So, I'm not going to get all weird about that. I mean, I guess I can understand if some people don't have faith. I don't know. Maybe that's an issue, but I don't know. It works for me. I am very torn, I should say, about whether I keep it scriptural or if I go silly. But to do it in the middle, scriptural and silly, is probably a little bit more my style. So we'll see what the last week comes out to, and if they have any really good options, then we'll see. I am actually really excited to see what they come up with for that last week, because I guess, you know, they come out with it. I've never done a Steochalong, but I guess they come out with several different options for the final release of the pattern. So anyway, I'm happy either way. That one I'm just good with it. So my next whip is Spooky Hollow Quilts. I showed that one last week. This is what it looks like. And I haven't gotten very far on this one either, but you know, it's not going to get done before Halloween. No way. But I have made a little bit of progress on it. So actually, let me move this. I have that done. Oh, let's put it over here. That's what I have done. It's turning out nice. I mean, it's a house right now. I did the back stitching on the ghost. I have not done the eyes. I think that might have been done last time. I was working on this panel here, the window. I got some of the tree in. Huh. I could have swore I had a pumpkin here. It is gone. I must have yanked it out. I think I did yank it out because I think I was off by one stitch. That's funny. I was like, I just remember there being a pumpkin there, but it's not there anymore. So anyway, again, this is my progress on that. Oh, and I did the little star there. Little star. Anyway, it's coming along. There was talk, I know several people put their projects in county fairs and state fairs, and I love the fair. I love the fair. It's like one of my favorite things to do that. And our Fresno, California State University, Fresno has like a vintage, they call it Vintage Days. It's 3 days of like booths and crafts and food, all, you know, vendors and fun concerts, and if they have a beer garden. Okay, so I kind of like that. And those are my two favorite things, Vintage Days and the fair. And I love it because the fair usually lands on my birthday, and I usually will take a day off of work to go to the fair. And our fair is kind of medium size. It's not like state fair size, but it means like, anyway, I say all that because I was like, oh, maybe I could work on this for the state fair or for county fair. I've never entered anything into the fair, and I thought, well, golly, stitchy stuff would be fun in the fair, but most likely I will not get anything done for the fair because I'm just not that fast of a stitcher. So the rest of my works in progress are also new starts. So I love watching Game of Thrones. I'm not real particularly happy with this season just because I know they've gone off book now. They've put, they had, you know, they were following the books and all of a sudden the books ended. So now they're doing season 7 without books. I'm not completely happy with the way it's all come about. I feel like everything on that show has been rush. Like all of a sudden there's all these things different, like all the pieces are coming together and all these things are happening. Anyway, so I decided I wanted to, when at the beginning of the season, the first episode, I wanted to work on a Game of Thrones cross-stitching thing. So I looked online for a pattern, and I came across this one. Actually, I'm gonna show you on my phone. But it's by NataliNeedlework on Etsy, and this is it's the Stark Wolf. Can you see it? There you go, Stark Wolf. Because of course, Team Stark, right? Who doesn't like the Starks? So I decided to do that, and this is my progress on it. It really isn't that far along. None of my projects are. I don't even know which one is out. I think it's this way. That's how far I've gotten. Now, the only thing with this one is that there's just a ton of different shades of gray. And I realized when I got it, there's no back stitching on it, which I think would look really nice if there was back stitching on it, but I don't like back stitching, so it's yay. But I just, it might give it a little more definition. I always thought about maybe I'll do my own back stitching on it, but I won't do that because I don't like back stitching. But that's my progress on that. It's just this part back here. I started way back here. So anyway, I am doing that, and I decided I was only going to do that when I was watching Game of Thrones, which of course they're only doing like 8 seasons, and that's only 8 hours, and I will not get this done in 8 hours. But that's, you know, when it finishes, when it ends, then I'll just work on it whenever I feel like working on it. But that's that. That's my Game of Thrones Steochalong, my own Steochalong. Then I had mentioned last time that I went to my local needlepoint store and I ordered a few things, and one of the things I ordered I picked up. I still have not picked up my 2 mirabilias that I ordered because I just haven't I've had some financial things come up and I haven't been able to get down there to get them. I'm hoping my next paycheck I will. But I got this one, and I really like it. It's Love Me, Love My Dog, of course. And I love it because this one looks like my dog Precious, and this one looks like my dog OG. And so anyway, this one also is on perforated paper. I will have to put up the towel for this one. Actually, no. I will use the back of another piece. That's my dog. That's it. Kind of looks like the cow face, but that's how far I've gotten. It's cute. Again, I still like working on the perforated paper. But yeah, it'll be cute. And actually, I expected this one to be the size of my window box. And it came in bigger, and I was like, hey, nice. I like that. That's good. Bigger's better. So that one's fun. That was my new start / work in progress. Now, I also started, I mentioned this one last time, Woodland sampler. I really like that. Super cute with all the animals. Okay, I've got to figure out which side I want to go on. Sorry. All things bright and beautiful, all creatures great and small, all things wise and wonderful, the Lord God made them all. And I figured out, this is what I figured out. I figured out that it's in a 2-part pattern. Oh, and this is in just CrossStitch August 2017. And this pattern, I haven't been telling you any of the who the patterns are by. But this one's by Carol Emmer. And so I figured out that the pattern ends, it's in 2 parts, and this is part 1 right there. And so then this is part 2. So I've of course worked on part 1. Part 2 will come out in September, I believe, if it's September magazine. But this is my progress. Okay. A bear and a half and a crown. And actually, I'm really liking this one. Let's see, I'm doing this on an even weave, and I thought I kept the label, but I didn't. I think it's 32 count. think it's 30. It's one of the smaller ones. Anyway, 2/2. I'm really liking this. I like it, first of all, because it's simple blocky colors. There's no confetti in it and all that. Obviously, I've only started 2 colors on it so far. But I like it just because I feel like it's really clean. I feel like, I don't know, maybe it's just the fabric, or maybe I'm just working better at keeping my stitches clean, but it looks nice. I have a feeling that I would love to do this one and finish it and get it into the fair. Of course, if I do, it'll be next year, because pattern 2 is not coming out till September, and fair submissions need to go in, I think, like September 11th. So there's no way in 11 days I'll be able to finish the second half of that pattern. But I would love to get this one finished, framed up, and send this one to the fair. I feel like it's a little bit out of what I normally do. I think I have a very different kind of, I don't know what my style is. I'm not prim, really, but this is kind of primish, I think. I don't know. Maybe you can tell me. I've realized that I'm a newbie when it comes to this. So, like, I watch a lot of your Flosstube videos, and I realize that you guys know what you're doing, and you have a lot of knowledge and a lot of information, and you have a lingo that I don't know. So I hear prim, and I'm like, what the heck is that? I mean, I'm assuming it's primitive style, but it's still like, okay. So anyway, there's a lot of different things I've learned through Flosstube, watching you guys and hearing the things that you're saying and explaining, and so that's one of those things. I'm not real sure what my style is. If you know what my style is, let me know, because I don't feel like I have a name for it. I like dog style. How about, oh, that's kind of weird. We won't go there. So anyway, that brings me to my last, moving on, last work in progress. Now this one is one that I went round and round with. So I started, I'm sorry, I keep turning my head. Oh, McKenna, sorry, you told me not to say sorry, so I'm not sorry. Bergama borders. I love this piece. I like geometric stuff, like I said last time. So I started this, but I had some dilemmas with it. So my first start with it was this. Ignore the little sampling things at the top. This is what I've done. This is on a linen, which I've never worked on linen before. I've only done Aida and even weave, and so this was my first linen. Actually, I can tell you I have this tag, 32 count linen, in oyster, and I was not happy with the coverage. I don't know, like, it doesn't really show up there. It looks decent there, but I was not happy with the coverage. I keep looking at it going, is it really that bad? The other thing was that I'm not used to linen, and linen kind of moves a little bit, and Aida doesn't move. And so the other thing that I wasn't really happy with was, if you look at this and the lighting in here is not completely, you know, it's nighttime, so I've got artificial light going on, but this picture was so much brighter than the colors that it called for. So it called for hand dye, Weeks Dye Works in mascara, navy, and cayenne, and I bought those because my needlepoint store has Weeks Dye Works. So I was like, yes, this is awesome. I ended up getting the navy and the cayenne. Oh, sorry. No, I got the cayenne. This is the cayenne. Actually, that's the cayenne. And here's the navy. This one, it called for navy, but I could only find Michael's navy, which was navy. It's navy. So I don't know if there's another navy. It's just called navy. Actually, let's get rid of the towel. And do it like this. So again, these are hand dyed. They're beautiful, but they were a little darker than what I expected. And especially when I look at this magazine, I don't know if you can't really tell the difference here, but this is brighter. In real life, it's brighter, more vibrant colors, and this is like kind of dark. And then when I was stitching it, I realized that I cannot hardly tell a difference between the navy and the black. It's so close that from far away, it just almost looks the same. And I could barely even tell the variation in the colors. The red has more variation in color than the navy did. So I kind of wasn't super happy with it. So I thought, okay, well, I'm just going to go DMC. So they have a DMC conversion in the pattern. And I bought those, which were these colors. Now these are brighter. You can kind of tell a little bit. This is actually more orangier too, which I'm not a big fan of. So I got these, and these would be fine. But I still felt like the colors didn't pop enough. So then I decided to go rogue. And I didn't go rogue and change like the colors or anything. But what I did decide, see, I gotta make sure I keep all my flosses separated. Put those away. So what I ended up doing was going, this is the second one I started, and I much prefer it. And that's my progress. I love it. Oh my gosh, I love it. First of all, it's on Ada. And once again, I think this is a 16 or 18. It's 16 or 18. But because it's stiffer, I feel like the geometric shapes they hold their shapes. The linen kind of elongated some of the. Let's see if I can do this. These are elongated. These are more square. I don't know if you can tell the difference there. You can see a little bit of the variation in the blue in the video, but not really in real life. So anyway, I am loving this. So this is what I'm working on. I'm focusing on this one. I'll keep the Woodland sampler with me every now and again if I need a break, but I am focusing a lot on this. Now, mind you, this is only one page, and I think it's probably going to go to about here. So there's a lot to do, and of course it's going to go probably to here. But I'm really like this. Okay, so back to the threads. I decided to go ahead and just stick with the DMC black 310. Yay, 310. But I wanted the variegation in my threads, so I went ahead and found DMC 115, which has some variegation in it. Variegation. And and then I bought 4240. Now this is a different, this one has purple, a little bit of purple in it. You can see the purple in there, and I wasn't real sure about that. I didn't really want purple in it. So what I'm doing, instead of doing, and I'm doing this 2/1 because it's Ada, Instead of using 2 threads, because I know when you have variegated floss you usually use 2 because they're dyed the same, I'm actually taking 1 and I'm folding it in half so that I get a very slight blend, so the purples don't turn out so purpley. So the purples will overlap with the blue and create more of a blue. So I don't know, I'm liking it. You can't really see a lot of color variation except for right here. This I don't know. This was the end of one of my threads and this was the beginning of one of my threads, and you can obviously see the 2 different colors. I don't know, do I care? But it's really hard to tell here the color variation. But like you can see that this is darker than this red versus this red, and you can tell a difference between the blues and the black. So I like that. So I'm happy. I'm very happy with this, and I'm glad I switched. I'm glad I made the change up. I'm glad these colors popped better for me. That was just something, was kind of picky about that. And again, if you're going to spend all this time on something, you might as well get it the way you want it. I will end up using this fabric for something else. Actually, these are my little samples that I did with the variegated floss. And I just tried, do I use 2 threads or 1 thread and do the loop method, or do I, I just tried a couple different things. Anyway, so that's that. Those are all my works in progress. And my new starts and some new purchases too. Then I also got one other purchase, and I got this book, All Creatures, Stitched and Small, 6 designs by Lori Markovic. And of course I like the front, the little, I guess that's prim, right? Please tell me, is that prim? Looks prim to me. Little dogs. This is the back. There's several things in here that I like. I love this moose, bear, wolf, fox pattern. I kind of like this one down here. It looks a little like a Noah's Ark. I like that. And I like this tiger too. That's cute. This is really cute. I ended up getting the flosses for it. This is the flosses. They're pretty. They're kind of those kind of earthy tones, neutrals. I don't know. They're just pretty. That's for the dog one on the front. Yeah, it looks kind of different here, but anyway, so that's my new purchase. I did buy a magazine, but I don't know where it's at. And then, like I said, I haven't bought the 2 Mirabilias yet. Oh, I did have a thrift store find. Okay, so thrift stores in Fresno, there's not really any cross-stitching stuff in any of them. So Eric and I went up to, we live really close to Yosemite, and Fresno is close to Yosemite, I should say. And so we took a trip up to Yosemite, and on the way back, there's a little town called Oakhurst, and we ended up stopping at one of the thrift stores, or actually 2 of the thrift stores, and one of the thrift stores had a ton of magazines. Oh, this bag is full of magazines, old magazines, and I went through them. I totally forgot about this. I mean, I did, but I did. And I forgot that I have another magazine that I bought in here. I won't go through all of these right now. I did buy, this is not thrift store find, I did buy the CrossStitcher issue 319 summer 2017. Oh, and the one thing that I really liked in this one, I'll just share with you, is, oh, I have it marked. I think Steph from Pam and Steph Just Keep Stitching started this one, And I like it too. I love the colors on this. It looks, I'm not a huge fan of tattoos, but I don't mind tattoos. But like that, I guess if I can't have one, I might as well stitch one. I don't know. I could have one. I just don't want to have one. But I could stitch one. Eric has a tattoo. It doesn't bother me. And then the other thing I marked. Oh, this is summer bracelet kit. Oh, I can't show you the patterns, but summer bracelet kit. And it came with the bracelet. And there's a lot of different patterns that they give you. So, hey, I'll maybe do one of those. But I did find, while I was at the thrift store, I like this one, God is Love. I like that. Reminds me of the 80s. Yes, that's around the 80s. By Ann Powell, Heirloom Stitchery. I also have the American sampler. I really like this. I do like patriotic stuff. 4th of July is one of my favorite holidays, and I remember just growing up singing 4th of July songs all year round. Your Grand Old Flag is one of my favorites. Anyway, I liked this. This was, and she threw this in for me. Like, she was like, that's nothing. No, it's a pattern. I won't show it to you. But she just like, I'll throw it in anyways, because it's just a little sheet. I did pay for this one. It's way smaller than the one she gave me for free. But 25 cents. This one, we believe. Christmas Traditions, We Believe Santa by Holiday Time. Oh, this is a Walmart kit. Right here, Walmart. For $1.50. It's cute. And then all of these. This is the, wait, is this the newest one or oldest one? This is the newest one, October 1998. Halloween. And then the oldest one I have is September, October 1988. No, not 1888, 1988. So anyway, I may eventually go through a couple of these at a time. There's a couple of them that I didn't find anything I really liked in them, so maybe as I show them, if you want one, I can, send it to you, or yeah. But I have gone through them and marked the ones I like. And so anyway, I'm just trying to figure out what to do with that. I know there were some cute things in here. And I found some, actually I found in one of the advertisements, I found a Mirabilia that I'm like, oh, I'm gonna hunt for that. So anyway, that's really, I was so happy that day when I went. Another word that I learned through Facebook, or through, Flosstube, junkin'. We don't say that here in California, but I like it. Junkin'. So anyway, let's see. Do I have any other things on my notes? Done in the magazine. Oh, I left it in my car. I can't go through this. I have 2 more things that I bought when we went up to Modesto. 2 more patterns. I'll have to show those to you next time. And I think that's it. So anyway, if you made it this far, 43 minutes in, thank you for sticking with me. Thank you for watching. Again, I love hearing from you guys. I love having connection. If you made it through, subscribe, make a comment or something. Tell me if there's something you want to see or that you think needs to change, or I don't know. Yeah, I went a little longer as far as like time wise. It's been a while since I did a video. I don't want to do that all the time, but I heard something on the radio the other day and it really struck with me. And it said, it was they were talking about like having a platform for Facebook. If you're going to get into, they were talking about radio hosts actually, and if you want to get into the media, then what's the best platform? And the DJ was kind of like, don't worry about platform. Like, pray for something to say. And that's way more important than what your platform is, whether it's YouTube or Facebook or, you know, radio or whatever. But it's much more important to have something to say than the platform. And so I really thought about that. That struck with me. And I just felt like this time I'd been waiting for so long because I didn't really have anything to share. Or I felt like I didn't have anything to share. And then, like I said yesterday, I went to Modesto and met Lois and saw her Elegant Stitch store. And I just felt like, you know what, that alone was fun for me, and I could share that. And I've had a few other things, just, you know, a few other projects and stuff, but I don't know, I just felt like I finally had something to share. So I just will keep praying for things to share. And yeah, and hopefully you can join me in the journey. So anyway, that's all I have to say. I hope you have a good week, and until next time, be blessed. Bye-bye.